Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV, live on Facebook, live on YouTube and Periscope, which means it's also flittering over to Twitter. My name is John, your host as always, and I thank you very much for joining. To everyone that's watching, Rick, welcome, mate. Oh, thanks very much, £15 donation thank you. That's for coming on my Facebook and doing a live stream with me. Well, thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. Hi, Nick. Hope you're doing, mate. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, this is an open Q&A, so there's things I want you to ask me, and I want you to answer the questions that I put to you at the same point. So first and foremost, the last of the three questions I normally start with the start of the program. What programs are you watching to break up this lockdown? Let me know. But I just want to say thank you for subscribing to Jim Bok Shiri, who subscribed in the last 7 days. Thank you very much for your support, mate, and thank you to everybody that has subscribed over the last few days. We're back to 1525. So as I said, if we get to 1600 by Sunday week, which is basically the 10th of May, then I am happy. I will be doing a live concert for you guys, just me and my acoustic bashing out some classic tunes. So that would be a good incentive, because I know some of you guys like some of my tunes, like hear me sing. So Robert, hello mate. Hope you're all right. Sophian, hello mate. Good to see you. Jazz, hello guys. Long time no see. Hope you're keeping cool. Frank Burke, hello from Dublin. Hello mate. Zeki, welcome back. Good to see you again. Where are we? Lucas Sheriff, hello mate. Long time no see. Hope you're okay. And Hammers Chat, way, hello boys. I think it's Gio. Welcome, Gio. Ask me any question, mate. Frank says he's watching Money Heist. Sofian says, I want to watch Killing Eve tonight. And is it any good? I haven't seen it, so I can't know, but I'm sure people will tell you in the live chat. Fo Shazzy, hello everyone. Hello mate, good to see you. Mick Smith, Basildon says hi. Basildon Bond. And Sofian is saying, big up Jaswinder, Upal Hammers. Yep, good, top bloke, as you all are, guys, as you all are. But thank you very much, Rick, for that donation, much appreciated. Now this is the interesting thing. I want to get your thoughts on this, because obviously if Specky Becky is watching, she's going to love herself at the minute more. That there could be a second lockdown coming in Germany, because apparently they've had a bit of a spike in their infection rate. So that could be very, very interesting for the Bundesliga. Could be very interesting. They might have to suspend the football again. Guys, let me know your thoughts on it. Do you think that's going to be the case? I mean, for those that have obviously been keeping an eye on what's going on in Germany. Nick says he's been watching Sunderland Till I Die and cricket documentaries. Nick, Sunderland Till I Die is a fantastic program. Really, really enjoyed it. Very, very good. Lucas says, can't wait to hear you sing. Well, I know you enjoyed it last time, mate, when I came back to doing live watch along with on YouTube. So yeah, keep an eye out for it, mate. Spread the word. If you know any West Ham fans who would want to subscribe to the channel, and pass the word, mate. Either on Periscope or on YouTube. Sofian, League One got voided. Thoughts? Sofian, we briefly touched this onto this last night. Smart move. Completely smart move. Robert Singleton watching in Liverpool. Hello, Scouser. Hope you're all right, mate. Good to see you. But yeah, I think it's a very, very good move. Now, expanding on the article that what we talked about the other day before Clarence Hugh actually properly gave the information out. It's talking about the training ground information. It's a very good article that and it's not often I say this, but Hugh did a very good expansion on the what's going on with the training at the moment. I did say when the story was originally breaking just after the fact that Arsenal were doing the same thing. West Ham players and Arsenal are doing exactly the same thing. It's one player at a time, taking their own training equipment in, which has been supplied by the club. They're in there for no more than an hour, and as I said, there's no return site, no return of the Premier League in sight yet because of this. Jazz Winder says he's been watching Tiger King. Fair enough. I couldn't get into it myself, but Sophie says, how can Rice be overrated if everyone says he is overrated? It makes no sense. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point, mate. Good point. Lucas Seriev says, will do JP. Question, do you think the Premiership should be voided? I don't think it should be voided itself, but I don't think it should be resumed either. I just think it should be closed off now. As I say, we've had 3/4 of the season now. But I mean, whatever happens, it's not going to be ideal for everybody. I don't want the team's relegated because they've got no chance of fighting their way out of it. But I'd be saying the end of I'd be saying the same thing if we were sitting 18th or 19th or even 20th. I'd be saying just take it the table as is and be done with the season. But it's not fair on the relegation team. It's not fair on those in the championship that are pushing for the playoffs as well, for that matter. And obviously, likewise, it is fair for West Brom and Leeds, and it is fair for Liverpool to get the title from it. But as I said, yeah, it's hard. Robert's the East End Scouser. I wondered who you were, because I follow you on Twitter, if I remember right. Sophie and I come back to that in just a minute, because I promised that Frank Burke asked a very, very good question in the comments for yesterday's video, if I remember correctly. He said, what do you think of Moyes mentoring Kevin Nolan to be our next manager after Moyes leaves? Nolan couldn't be worse than some of the managers we've had. Great point there, mate. Great point. I think I wouldn't be disappointed, shall we say, if Nolan, I was about to say Noble then, if Nolan is the next manager. I wouldn't be disappointed. Even if it's on a caretaker basis for a little while we'll try and figure out another manager to come in. I do think Moyes needs to be given a proper go at it this time. But yeah, it's that is the thing. That is the thing. I just want to do a quick shout out to a daughter of a good friend of mine, Jade Gauchi. She works in the NHS and she's on the front line, so she's looking after a lot of people at the moment. So Jade and everybody else that's working in the NHS, if you're watching, thank you very, very much for all your help, and thank you from your dad as well, for that matter. He's very, very proud of you. Right. So we will come back to Sophie Ann's question just now. Where are we? So Robert said he's born in Plaistow. Said it twice, in fact. Sophie Ann said, right, we never leave the bowling, or Gold, Sullivan and Brady leave tomorrow. Never leave the bowling, mate. From a money point of view, it was completely inconsequential. Completely inconsequential. Elaborate, Gonzo. Gio, sorry. Elaborate. Sophie says, I would put Gio for manager, Gonzo for assistant, Yaz for director of football, and stick Nicky and Ryan the centre backs. Love it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. FIFA Doctor says, the FIFA doctor, as you probably noticed, has come out saying that he is employing all clubs to focus on football for next season and not concentrating on trying to resume the rest of the leagues. Now, as we've already talked about, France have already voided it off finished their end of the season. They haven't mentioned. I looked into it deeper, but they haven't seen anything about what they're going to do about promotions and relegations for out of League One, League One, and League Two. But yeah, it's the right call, in my opinion. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. While you're thinking of that, I will read out a question that Rhonda and Tony Tanti asked. A good question here, and guys, it's good to hear from you again. So I hear from you every now and again. So if clubs are forced to play, then any team that gets relegated would start legal action. Don't know if that's the case, because they have to all agree at one point for the team to the league to restart. In West Ham's case, we were about to play a Wolves team running on empty and a big Europa game after us. Yep, agreed, 100%. And then Spurs with up to 5 players out. Yep, this is a massive disadvantage, as these things even out during a normal football season. thoughts? Well, Rhonda and Tony, it's a fantastic question. But things don't even out. I know it's an old cliche that everyone says in football, but things don't even out. We haven't seen enough even. But sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But in general, not enough, as far as I'm concerned. Veron Harvey, hi from Vancouver. Hello, mate. No work today, as first time I've got to one of these live. 8 hours ahead, 8 hours behind. Vancouver. Yeah, you would be actually. Yeah. So welcome, mate. And Sophie says Gonzo for Prime Minister. That could be quite interesting. So, Gonzo, if you're watching, mate, get your skates on. Jaswinder says, I've been playing CM 97-90 Championship Manager 97-98 again and listening to loads of podcasts. Some great West Ham related podcasts out there, including one for CM 97-98. Believe I did not know that, mate. Well, cool. I'll go check those out. Jamie Betts, hello, mate. Question: do you think with all the money and wage cuts, we will see more players playing for the fans and clubs more than the next paycheck? I'd like to think so, Jamie. I really, really would like to think so, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Hammer's gone way too expensive for us. Nick will cost 35 million plus. Gio, mate, you're not that far off it. You're not that far off it. And here we go. Charlie's in. So double tag team from Hammer's chat so far. Jazz says, also been studying for a course and very busy working from home. Loads of gardening done. Good, mate. Good. Right. So, guys, you haven't answered any of the questions yet. Not one. So tell me about your thoughts about the Bundesliga if Germany continues their spike. Do you think they will still continue on football behind closed doors within the next week? Let me know those, guys. Anyone going to answer the question? No? All right. Sofian, thoughts on Mark Noble having no legs next season and should be on his last season. Jerry sums it up quite. I'm going to fight you, Sophie, and watch yourself. Noble will live forever. I tend to agree. I would honestly think Noble's got a good couple of seasons left in him. I really, really think he does. Really, really think he does. Vernon says about the Bundesliga, at least one person's paying attention. My thoughts are far too soon at this point. Void next season, 2021, and play remaining fixtures, including cups, whenever totally safe. Agreed. 100%. 100%. Sofiane saying, Hamish chat, I love Mark Noble, but I have to admit he has lost it. Sideways and backwards merchant. No, he's not. He has a lot more to his game than that. No legs. He hasn't got it anymore. Disagree. All good stories must come to an end. That I do agree with. He really doesn't, to be honest, and his contract runs up in 2021. Yeah, I know it does, mate, but that's the whole point. You know, he's still got a good couple of seasons left in him. So, Sofiane, give me an answer to the question I've put to you, yeah? About the Bundesliga. Or does anyone else want to answer the question? Fo says there shouldn't be any football until at least October, in my opinion. The Dutch government have set precedent already for no sports till September, as have the French. Hamish says German clubs have been in training for a month for now and are better prepared than the UK generally. Agreed. A second wave is expected, so expect them to consider this, to be honest. Yeah, agreed, mate. But there's Angela Merkel has come out saying that you know they are going to put in a second they are going to put in a second lockdown if it gets out of hand again. So you could argue the fact that, as a lot of us have been saying, they went back too soon. Right. So going back to the other question that Frank Burke says, guys, what do you think of Moyes mentoring Kevin Nolan for our next manager after Moyes goes? Let me know your thoughts on that. Looking forward to seeing what Gio says as well, for that matter. Len says about the previous question, I think a lot depends on these treatments that are being worked on and the results of the antibody test. What they'll do. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, mate. The antibody tests are going to take a long time. Gio says they'll use football as a. They'll use football as. Is that actually you, Gio? Because that's unusual for you not to spell right. As a motivator to keep people indoors, not suggesting that's correct, but can see that being the tagline. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very, very good point. So yes, I think that is you. Just a typing error by the looks of it. Yeah. Sofiane says the Bundesliga should not be cancelled, avoided, or whatever. The Germans are efficient. They've certainly got more hospitals available than us. That's for sure. Okay. Right. So those two questions asked and answered. Ryan says, "Hi mate, Elegate. Will we ever get a top manager after Moyes? Not for a long time. Not for a long time. But it'd be interesting to see what everyone else has got to say on that." Sofiane says he doesn't want Kevin Nolan as manager. Might as well have Andy Carroll as assistant with Matt Jarvis and Stuart Downing. Bring back Big Sam whilst you're at it. Vernon says the way things are going with players needing a pre-season to get fitness, play the Euros leading up to Christmas, the final on New Year's Day would be amazing. Restart the current season everywhere next year. Not a bad shout. It might end up going that way, Vernon, to be honest with you. Top manager will not come to West Ham, so we have to unearth a potential gem, which I can't see us doing. Exactly, Jazz. It's catch-22, isn't it? It's catch-22. While the owners are in charge, we're not going to get a decent manager, unfortunately. Vernon says, what I would like to see, unfortunately, my money won't allow it. Nick asks, out of all our famous players from the academy, would you say would have been the most successful? Rio Ferdinand, in his opinion. That's a good point, actually. Lampard, very good argument for Lampard. If we'd have stuck with him, and the whole club and the supporter base weren't as much of an arsehole to him as everybody were at the time. I reckon he would have been our go-to man for a success story. I really think he would have done. Sofian says the club is a joke at the minute, to be honest, and I'm missing football, but not really West Ham. I know what you mean, mate. I was messaging Dave Walker earlier today, and I said, look, I'm not missing West Ham because I like having my blood pressure this low. Ryan Lamb says he would have Kevin Nolan as manager, assistant as manager Mark Noble. Yeah. I say I don't think it'd last long, unfortunately, but yeah. West Ham fans asks the best academy player at West Ham. You mean? I take it you mean currently? I don't know. I haven't been watching the juniors, unfortunately. Not as closely as I should have been. Ryan, you can get more Brexit FC if you try. Don't start politics, mate. Henry, hello, mate. Good to see you again. We didn't lock down quick enough. Wuhan was in lockdown for 76 days and only come out now, and they are getting a second wave. Exactly. Dave Moyes is an okay manager, but with him in charge, we're just going to be an average team. Nothing. Yaz agrees with me. Yes, Lampard. Heard from Peter Butler on the recent podcast that senior Lampard could not coach anything and was just giving Harry some company. Yeah. The West Ham way one, I heard that. That was quite interesting. Bit of a controversial one from him, but yeah. All right. So, question that Darren over in Bangkok asked. He's asked me 3 actually, which is quite interesting. So, guys, I'd like to know what your answers are on this one. So, first of all, what wonder of the world would you like to visit? For me, it's the pyramids, no question. What extreme sport would you most like to try? I'd probably say I don't think snowboarding's extreme now, but jetpack snowboarding, I'd say that was extreme. So I'd love to try that. And what is your dream holiday? I should be going on my bloody dream holiday, Darren, but thanks for the question. I should actually be going. I was booked. All books it was my dream holiday. An entire week, all inclusive, 5-star hotel for my birthday. We're supposed to be going out weekend after next, and obviously we're not. So that was my dream holiday, unfortunately. But I'd say, other than that, I'd probably say a couple of months exploring the States. I'd love to do that. I'd say that was my all-time number one. Fo says, going back to, I think the priority has to be appointment of a director of football. Yeah, it's not going to happen, mate. While we've got David Sullivan, unfortunately. Diallo and Kia Corbett are both really talented. Good. That'd be certainly names to be keep an eye out for. I mean, I know the names that everybody's been talking about, but I say that it's not my opinion on it because I don't know what they are. Did you see extend the lockdown trending today? Well, yeah, because it's going to last for a long time. It's going to be last for a long time, regardless if it's going around Twitter or not. It's going to last for a long, long time, unfortunately. Favorite kit of the last decade and goal? That's a good question, mate. It's a very, very good question. Favorite kit of the last decade? I'd have to say, I mean, technically it was our third kit, but I'd say the Thames Ironworks one. That was my favourite. The Alpari Adidas one, based on the Boys of '86, very, very close second. But yeah, I'd say that. And favorite goal of the last decade. It's controversial, I know, because it's a controversial player, but I can't think of a better goal scored in the last 10 years than Payet's individual goal against Middlesbrough. It's absolute screamer in both senses of the words. Vernon, did you ever see Marco Bugger's play? I don't think anybody did, mate, if I'm honest, but no. Gio, I am the wonder of the world. Well, I've seen you, mate, so can come visit for £2. Mate, I know you were cheap. I didn't know you were that cheap. Bloody hell. Right, so and Kitam's back. Hello, mate. Your thoughts on League One getting cancelled? I think it's a smart idea. And League Two as well, for that matter. But I think it's a smart idea, as we said at the beginning of the world. Sofian, why can't we just be good? Simple, I know. Agreed. 100%. Wonder of the world, the London Stadium. What a sight. Yeah. Depends on what your definition is on that one. Sofian says, yeah, well, too much. I'll pay cheaper for a site that's not better and quite bad. Typical West Ham. And Kitam, I swear he gets all these ready for a couple of days. That's why he didn't see you yesterday. Who would your ideal City manager be? Your ideal City manager if Pep had to leave due to the European ban on City? Don't care. It's Man City. I have no interest in their managers, unfortunately. I don't care. All I care about is West Ham as far as the football's concerned. Sorry, mate, but I don't. How and what should the club do with next year's 125th anniversary? Do you know what? I would genuinely go back to the first ever kit. Have it really, really heavily based on the first ever kit to properly mark the 125th. Not the Thames Ironworks, the first ever West Ham kit. I mean, even having the little drawstrings out of the front, because it was kind of almost like a hoodie thing back in those days. So yeah, I wouldn't check. Perfect one. Machu Picchu in Peru. Yes, mate. Very, very beautiful place. Very, very beautiful place. Now, this is, guys, this is what I want you to give an answer to, because Derek Verlander put a very good question on here, on the comments for yesterday's video, saying, with Newcastle joining the other rich boys of the Premiership, do you think it will now be a division of two halves with us in the lower half? Derek, to be completely honest with you, mate, I don't think it's going to be the case, and I'll tell you for why. All right. I was having a look at the owners leagues, right? Everton's owner, Farid Moshiri, is worth £2.4 billion. Yeah. John Henry and Thomas C. Werner of the Sports Fenway Group are worth £2.7 billion. Now, as the time, because Mike Ashley as of this time is worth $2.8 billion US dollars, I should say. Sorry, this is in US dollars, not pounds. Joshua Harris, who owns Crystal Palace, £4.3 billion. The Glazier family, $5 billion. Guo Guanchang, who owns Wolves, $5.6 billion. Nassif Sawaris, who owns Aston Villa, $5.8 billion US dollars. Joe Lewis and Daniel Levy combined, who own Tottenham, $6 billion. Not going to disrespect the Leicester City owners by trying to pronounce their names. So Leicester and Tottenham, their owners are worth a joint $6 billion US dollars apiece. Stan Kroenke, I should say, $10 billion US dollars. Roman Abramovich, $11.3 billion, and Sheikh Mansour, $20 billion. Now, and as a result of that, that means that all those clubs should be all sitting around the top 12, and not all of them are. Not all of them are, and that's the thing. I mean, I know they were at the, as it stands, before we finished the season. Yeah. Vernon asks, how much has Gio had to drink, and what booze is best to mix with Iron Brew? Gio, the floor's all yours, mate. Sofian says, Mick Smith, 66 is not our 125th anniversary. It's the 4th. This is a new club. Shut up. Faux Shizzy says, I'd like to see big fat Sam take over from Pep. It would be just hilarious. Just imagine the football. Oh, mate, that's not a bad idea. That would be funny. Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. Your ideal trend, but as I say, guys, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think there's going to be a top 10 and the bottom 10 now with it, or do you think there's going to be something slightly different? So if you're saying people saying financial fair play, Newcastle gain 150 million per match day. Yeah, the financial fair play rules state you spend as much as you earn. Now the income is a little bit vague in the definitions, but if you're earning 180 million pound per season, then you can only spend 180 million pound. So, Sofian, Newcastle aren't getting 150 million per match day. They might be getting 150 million in total for the entire season, but not per match day. You know, because we got 190 million, and we're last season, and you know we were only ranked 8th in the top 10 richest clubs. So I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. So yeah, per year from match day. So yeah, fair point. By the way, this owner is probably a cheapskate. He was penny pinching trying to get at the club. They are a very, very cheap company. That's all I'm prepared to say at this point. Yeah, Henry's saying the same thing. Newcastle will be stopped for a while because of financial fair play. Yeah. Robert's asking an earlier question, so I'm guessing he's watching it, rewound it a little bit. I would forget about football until March next year, continue the season, then play games as was. Yeah, not a bad idea. But guys, as I said, I've asked you guys a question. I've been respectful enough to answer yours, so please answer the same to me. What do you think about the Newcastle takeover? Do you think look at the bigger picture, guys. Do you think there is going to be there is going to be a divide between half the table and half the table, or do you think it's going to all be more meshed together? I think it's going to be more meshed together. Sophie says, "Oh no, jump through. Health and safety, football over football, and that's a fact." Yeah, agreed, 100%, mate. But Kitam, I will ask you a question once you answer that question I've put to you guys, because you guys are answering your own, asking more questions than I'm asking you. So please do so. But Ryan Lamb says, I can't see keeping Moyes long. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean. I think it's more a case of wishful thinking from the supporters base, because we want something a bit better than David Moyes, but we haven't got it. We haven't got the options available to it, especially when the way things are at the minute. We will see if Newcastle do it right by spending on facilities, backroom staff, academy, etc., as much as the matchday squad and new manager. That's exactly what I've been saying, Vernon. Well put, mate. I honestly think a lot of the money is going to be going on the backroom staff, at least for the backroom, improving the training facilities, improving the scouting networks, etc., etc. So, guys, you have to think a bigger picture than just comparing them to Man City, which was way before the changes in the financial fair play rules. People aren't thinking about this properly. Newcastle are spending money, and I'm absolutely worried. Well, they're not spending money, mate, because you can't buy anyone yet. So, as I'm saying, just think about the actual situation. CG says, I think there are already is a potential top 10 teams with history and teams with rich benefactors. Yep, it's a fair point. It's a very, very fair point. Ryan Lamb says, come on. I think if there is a takeover at Newcastle, I don't see Steve Bruce lasting long as manager. Well, apparently it's been leaked to Sky Sports that they want Pochettino, and quite rightly so, but he must be pissed off, really pissed off, if you didn't already know about that. Len said, I don't know enough to say what will happen, but I sure hope it doesn't divide the top 10 and bottom 10. Yeah, agreed, Len. As I say, it's a massively, massively hypothetical question, but it is a very good one because it gets you thinking. It gets you thinking for those that can. Mick Smith says, I think eventually there will be a breakup and a Super League will be formed. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, UEFA are already trying to do it by having that little mini league thing that they were talking about. Was it last year? Sophie says, also fair play doesn't stop you from investing heavily in the stadium, training ground and facilities so much that you can have a 70,000 stadium and get more revenue. Agreed, to a degree, but it's still spending. It's spending what you're earning, mate. That's like this is why the rule about income is so ambiguous, and which is why Man City have been under the coals. So been hauled over the coals over the last few seasons because of it. And likewise, why Chelsea have had a ban, not just because of the way that they handled the juniors, how they're bringing through the younger graduates, should we say. And Kitam says, personally, I think Newcastle will get relegated after the takeover. Mate, it's not a bad shout. Look what happened with QPR. Heavily had a lot of money. Mark Hughes again spending big time. When was it Tony Fernandez with his money? Yeah, man, it's just not going to happen. Big up the Charlie. Newcastle's potential new owners are Man City on steroids. They'll spend what they can when they can. It'll take them a couple of years, but they'll get to the top of the Prem. Maybe more than a couple of years, mate, but I know what you mean. You're spot on there, Charlie. Nick asks, would you take Slav back now? Well, yeah, of course I would. He's proven the fact that he's a decent manager with West Brom. He's proven the fact that he's good enough to have another crack at the Premier League. He was thrown under the bus by the owners, big time thrown under the bus. So he wasn't treated respectfully to a man who's massively probably one of the nicest guys we'll ever watch. Vernon Harvey says, if you can scout the next Kevin De Bruyne, Mbappe, etc. at 13 years old and bring them into the academy, it's not next season we need to worry about, but 5 years' time. Very, very good point there, son. Very, very good point. I like that. Fo says, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Leicester, Wolves, Spurs, and Everton, with Newcastle joining within 2 seasons. If the takeover happens, they want Pochettino or Rafa improved facilities. Yeah, that's no, I honestly think the main crux is the fact they were really going to do the background stuff. If they've got any intelligence, whoever's going to be there is, I honestly think. Him sit back for 80 minutes and Jarvis and Downing on the counter attack. Yeah, well, it's the same with Moyes, the same with Pellegrini, it was the same with Slav, it was the same with it's the same with most of the managers we've had, mate. Derek Verlander, I think looking beyond 12th, I think, is becoming unrealistic with our owners. We'll wait and see. Slav never got backed. Yeah. Folks, usually 100% Charlie, hashtag big cool, recall Big Johns. Don't get him on that. Charlie says, QPR and Newcastle's owners are completely different, in my opinion. Different motivations, different levels of money. Can't compare them. Well, you can, because they were the richest club in the league at the time, and they didn't do things right. We are talking about people that I have personal dealings with the company that are paying the company to buy Newcastle. They're not professional. They're not professional, shall we say. Now, the company that I work for doesn't have half as, but a tenth of the debt that Newcastle are being bought for, but they are not. I think people are just seeing the checkbook. They're not seeing the bigger picture, in my opinion, mate. But you're right. The value, the different motivations, yeah, different levels of money. But QPR were a very, very rich team, and look what happened to them. I'm not saying the same things happened to Newcastle, but money isn't everything. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of it. You can throw as much money as you want, and you can still end up being relegated. Ryan Lamb said, I wouldn't have Unai Emery because I want what happened the same as when he... Because I want what happened the same when he was at Arsenal. You don't want what happened at Arsenal, I'm guessing, mate. Vernon Harvey talking to Derek. One thing is for sure, all the while GSB are there. Not only does getting Europe seem further away, competing against all those teams, finishing 15th would be a massive achievement. I think it's a little bit too pessimistic there, Vernon, if I'm being completely honest with you, mate. I really think that's being a little bit too pessimistic. But I see your point at the same time. I really, really do see your point. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen about this. I want to get your thoughts on this because this is quite interesting. There's a company that is distributing things called clean tech pods, which are in production in Hong Kong, which may help when we return to watching football. Basically, what these things are is you get your you walk up to it, you get your temperature taken to see if you're well enough to enter. If you are, the article I read earlier doesn't say if you weren't, but if you are, you enter a sanitizing tunnel where a combination of UV light and air sanitizing and purification sprays are used to kill off any germs on clothes or belongings. I honestly think this is a long, long way off. But guys, would you want something that's going to come in like that, where we're not just, it's before the pat downs? Yeah. So, the stadium has a deep clean, even every day for however months it's going to be. And even including a deep cleaner right before the doors are opened. So right from the early knockings, basically when the sun rises, until the doors open. So the stadium has a big clean. So we have these pods in front of the security checks, because there's no point having them afterwards. Let's think about it. There's no point having them afterwards. Have it beforehand, and make sure that everyone's clean enough to get in. That would be interesting, especially with some of the people that we have as supporters. Ryan Lamb says, I wouldn't bring back Sam Allardyce as a West Ham manager if Moyes got sacked. Fair enough, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly want to have him back either, for that matter. I understood the reason why they brought him in the first place, but I don't like the idea of him coming back. Rick says that's a good idea. I will want it. Cool. Forget it. The NHS is struggling with equipment as it is. It's nothing to do with the NHS. It's completely separate, Sophie. And as I said, it's a company making these in Hong Kong. If anyone's going to buy them, it's going to be the Premier League or the individual clubs, or both, or the FA. Would be something like that. Charlie says, Fernandez loved football and wanted to own a club. Newcastle's new owners are essentially ruthless dictators and are looking to bolster their image. They can't make the same mistakes. Want to bet? You never know, mate. I know what you mean, but you never know. You absolutely never know. You never know. Just because they're worth that £320 billion doesn't. It just depends on how much they've actually. That's how much they've actually got. Of absolute funding available. But yeah, as I say, we'll only have to wait and see. Foshi says, just imagine the great unwashed at football and we'll smell post-pod cleanse. That's good, mate. I like that. That is funny. That is very, very funny. Now, we're coming up after this video. Literally after this live stream at 8 o'clock is my live conversation I had with Wally World, who's on American Hammers. If any American Hammers TV, if any of you guys watch that channel, you know who I'm talking about. He's a second Patreon of the channel for us. He's a squad player. So as part of being a squad player, he gets an introduction Q&A, which we did last night. It was live on Patreon, and it's going to be going up in literally at 8 o'clock. So after we finish this, go and watch that conversation. It was a good laugh. He's a lovely bloke, really, really good man. And then the funny thing is we didn't talk about that much. And he said to me before we went live that he's a very, very quiet man. But he isn't. He's got a lot to say about a lot of things, and he's an absolute pleasure to talk to. Really, really was an absolute pleasure to talk to. Love the guy. He's quality. So go check that out, guys. Anyway, but yeah, go and actually watch it when it comes up. So obviously we're halfway through the week now. Glad it's a little bit isn't as raining as badly as it was yesterday. Some new things coming, as I've talked about previously. Where are we? Charlie also says he's not getting off this Newcastle subject. Look at really? Look how much they've invested in other sporting ventures. WWE, the Joshua fight, completely different to Fernandez, who generally loves football. Yeah, agreed. I know, because they spent what was it, £20 million? Sorry, £20 million getting Joshua over there to increase the branding over there and stuff. But yeah. I know what you mean, but it's all hypothetical. It could go perfectly for them, or they could fuck it right up. It's going to be one. It's going to be one of the two. We just don't know. We just absolutely don't know. Foshi says, I'll be definitely watching The King later, tonight, John. Fo, he actually mentions. I can't remember if it was before we went live or the actual conversation itself, but he said that you are the reason why he puts the King of Prussia on his little on this little thing here that he has when he's on. You're the reason why he has the king up there, because he lives near the King of Prussia in Philadelphia, and that's that'd be interesting. Sofian, would you have robots as referees in the future? Well, no, because they can't make it'd just be difficult. Steve, hello mate, welcome. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, I mean robots is. The robot wouldn't be. Trust me, a robot wouldn't be able to process the data quick enough to make a decision. Ryan Lamb says, "I hope we keep Kevin Owens as assistant manager, because if Moyes got sacked, I will be manager for us." Gary, hello mate, good to see you. Do you think they will make players wear masks? How will that work? Don't think they can. Don't think they can, mate. because it would show that it's not safe enough to do it. That's the thing. I know what you mean. Great point. But I don't think so. Sofian, have you seen that video emerging from America of a UFO? Well, which one? There's been plenty of ones over the last 20, 40 years, if that. So yeah, you'll have to be a bit more specific, mate. I don't use Twitter as much as you do. I mean, I was working today for one. But yeah, no, you'll have to be a bit more specific. I mean, send me the link, tweet, retweet it with, and send me it. I'll be interesting to see what you're talking about, because there has to be more. There has to be more intelligent life out there, because there's fuck all on this planet. That's for sure. Let's raid Area 51, mate. You wouldn't even know how to get there. Come on. It was uploaded yesterday. But yeah, say, DM it to me, mate. I'll have a look. Foshizi, Newcastle are looking at Pablo Longoria as their new director of football. Here's quality. Fair enough. Never heard of the bloke, but fair enough. Len, there's 1,000 American UFOs. We're obsessed with it. UFO videos. We're obsessed with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm all. As I say, I'm all for proving that there's life on other planets. It's going to screw the Christians up for a start, and all the other devout religious people. That we're the only life we're the only planet with intelligent, or any life on for that matter. Which is, when you think about how vast the multiverse is, yeah, this is, what is it? Is it 200 million or 200 billion light years? That's a long distance. Bex, I'm here. What did I miss? Quite a bit, I'm afraid. But you were totally right about Germany rushing it back, because they're on the verge of a second spike of the coronavirus over there. I meant he'd be manager for us. Okay. Fair enough. Of course, I'm rushing me. But yeah, so that we could, if it continues, even though Geo quite rightly said that you would have thought they would have taken an extra spike into consideration. Depends on how big the spike is, because if it's too much, they have to stop the football again. Not risk it. Absolutely not worth risking it. Steve Spraggs, UFO, unidentified football object. I like it, Steve. Steve, you got any questions you want to post to me, mate? Or Bex, for that matter? Sophie says, I feel UFO. Unidentified flight or football object. Yeah. You guys, it's coming up to we got just under 12 minutes left. Is there any other questions you want to put to me before we wrap this one up? God, I sound like Luke. I hope Luke's watching as well, for that matter. It'd be good if he is, so we had to have him on get him involved as well, for that matter. But as I said, guys, if we get to 1600 by the 40th anniversary of the FA Cup final win over Arsenal on Sunday week, which is basically a week and a half from now, aka my 40th birthday, then I am gonna have I'm gonna do a concert for you guys. I'll do some. Well, it might be a concert, but I'll be singing live for you. So with my acoustic. So guys, spread the word, let people know, and I'm sure we can get to 1600. I want to get over 1530 first and foremost, because it's been a real glass ceiling for this channel. I know there's not a lot to talk about at the minute, which is why I'm doing these videos at the minute, so we can all interact with each other, have a bit more of a social life, and talk to each other. I mean, honestly, it's typical Rebecca. We go half an hour later, half an hour than usual, and she's still bloody late. Rebecca's asked, do you believe in aliens? Yes, I do. Well, there has to be more intelligent life out there. One-handable. Sophie and Nick in Geo's words earlier. Gary Page says, do you still want the board out after all this? Yeah, I do. Now, I've praised them for the last few weeks of how they've done things right, but if they do things a lot better moving forward, then they will change my mind. But I don't see it happening. I really, really don't see it happening. Beck showing her age there, calling it a bloody chat room. Lots of not shagging going on in this chat room tonight. Len asks, "What do you think about doing VAR? How the NFL does it, and how where the manager gets 2 challenges?" Yes, but no. At the same point, 1 challenge per half, I can understand. But I don't want too much NFL influence. It's a great idea. It's a great question. Very good idea. But yeah, I mean, VAR just needs to. There has to be. The rules have to be applied properly for the technology, because the rules came in. Sorry, the technology came in after the rules, and they didn't really change them properly. And as we all know, so yeah, the rules need to be fixed a little bit better first. Favorite ever West Ham player and manager. Favorite player ever? Well, I'll talk about the only players that I've only actually seen. For me, it's Paolo Di Canio. My favorite player ever, and manager. Oh, it's got to be Pardew, I think, just for the FA Cup run and the real slog that he had trying to get us out of the playoffs, and did it the second attempt. Yeah. Cannot see how you can have football if you have to be 2 meters apart. Agreed, Steve. Sofian says, apparently the aliens went back after they went to North London. There was a lack of silverware and intelligent life. Chicken or beef? I was going to make a joke about beef curtains then, but only certain generations will get it. But yeah, I'm a beef man. I love chicken, but I'm more of a beef man. Chicken fillet burger or steak burger? Steak burger, man. Big time. Henry asks, you singing That's What the Season Has Come To? Yeah, I know. But a few people have been asking me when I'm going to do it again, so I thought, well, what better incentive than get to 1600? NFL Go Rams. Vernon, ever watched NHL? And VIR works perfectly. Difference is the clock stops for all stoppages, so no added time. 6 and 2 3s that, Vernon, isn't it, really? But yes, I have watched the NHL. Not a lot, but because of the time difference and everything. But when I used to have ESPN, when I was getting ready for work, in the mornings they were showing the games, so I was able to watch some of it. But yeah, Steve Spraggs, not at all surprised. John Lyle and Trevor Brooking. I thought you might say that, mate. Me showing my age and you saying beef curtains, you're wrong. See, that's what I'm saying. Certain people will get. Sofian, who should have a stand named after them? For me, the great Karen Brady. Sofian, stop being a troll, man. Come on. I wouldn't mind seeing. I know it's a cliche, but I genuinely wouldn't mind seeing Noble get in the stand. I really, really wouldn't. But maybe Paolo Di Canio, Tony Cotti, Frank McAvenny. The list is endless, mate. Len asks, that's true. You don't want too much NFL influence. You'll be stopping play every 30 seconds. Agreed. That's true. The NHL does do a lot. Does do a good job with it. Brian Williamson. Is it true, John? Well, is what true? I swear this is just another little kid trying to make a name of themselves. What have people said? If Moyes got sacked, would you bring back Slaven Bilic? Ryan, I've answered this already. Yes, I would. Vernon Harvey. Sophie, one night stand. Oi, oi. Keep it. Have you watched The Tiger King? No, I haven't, big boy. I haven't. Well, I watched 10 minutes of it. I got absolutely bored. Those programs don't say anything. Yes, Sophie, and I had said Noble because it's my opinion. From the man who's got Noble as his YouTube AVI. So don't give me that, son. Don't give me that. DiCanio, Lyle, and Hurst. Well, that's irrelevant there, Sophie, because you can only choose one. Best player and manager, not best players and manager. Or Beck says Noble is West Ham's best player. Currently, yes. Along with Rice. Brian Willis, are you a kiddie fiddler? You can confirm nor deny? Can you confirm or deny? Well, I will deny it, mate, because you're an absolute tosser for saying that. You tell me who these sources are, and I'll sort them out, and I'll sort you out. Prick. Don't be a dickhead. You are banned from the channel now, mate. You are absolutely banned from the channel. Rick, if you're still there, get rid of that little dick, will you? Otherwise, I will. Has anyone seen the fake ex-West Ham West Ham employee? Yeah, there's numerous amounts of them, mate. There's loads of them. And Nick, you were wondering why there was a restriction on the age limit, and Brian's shown why. Sofian says he loves Noble, but he has passed it. That's your opinion. That's fine. Beck says, quite rightly so, Noble was still key. And yeah, I will sort you out because I do not like anybody spreading false rumors about me, saying that I'm gay, saying that I'm a kiddie fiddler, or anything else, because it's just evil little people who've got nothing better to do. We're in the middle of a goddamn pandemic, yeah. Show some respect. We should be coming together as a nation, and not little idiots like you trying to cause people problems. So you are reported and banned. Yeah, so you're hidden. So yeah, let's get back to some respectful conversations. Nick, who in the current squad you reckon will be a manager, not Zabaleta or moves though? Well, Zabaleta's, he'd never manage. He might do. He might do. He might be a manager one day. I think Noble could, maybe. Snodgrass, possibly. Ryan Lamb says Mike Tyson comeback boxing, mate. That would be brilliant. Tyson was an absolute beast in his day. Absolute beast. Darren, hello, mate. Good morning. Hope you're doing right, mate. Yeah, exactly. Suddenly the mods come. Yeah. Well, there's another one here. So he's getting banned as well. Because all he's done is just been a little prick and just made another account because he's got nothing better to do. So it's past your bedtime, mate. Get your gripe water back in your mouth and go to bed. Stop being a dick. Because your comment's not getting up on the screen. Yeah, exactly, Sofian. Stop. Kemi Coker says Noble. Welcome, Kemi. Good time. I haven't seen you for a while, mate. And to be honest, I think that's probably a good place to wrap this up, if I'm honest, because we come up to the hour anyway, and I don't appreciate people like that. So Rick and Darren and everybody else, can you please ensure that you keep an eye on that, because this isn't a platform from now on. So Nick, I'm sorry, mate, you're not going to be able to watch these from now on, because I'm going to purposely make sure that nobody under the age of 18 is going to watch these, because it's clear that this dickhead is. And there is actually a way of finding out who you are as well, for that matter. So just be warned, son. Just be warned. But anyway, guys, for those that have actually been respectful from the majority of the hour, thank you very much for watching. If you're new around here and enjoying this channel, then you by all means, please do hit the subscribe button. Please do like the video if you also feel I deserve it. Please share this content with anybody you feel may want to watch it. And guys, yeah, thank you very much for your time. It's been great to talk to those who have the intelligence more than a Spurs supporter. And I will catch you tomorrow. Be back to 6:30. I'll be back half past. We'll be back 6:30 tomorrow evening, as always, for episode 5. It's been great that we've been running through all this, and it's only 1 out of 3 that's had some stupid idiots involved. So, guys, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow night. Take care now.